Cherarchy is a statement on an issue that we should be discussing as a House. Honorable Speaker, we have been told and we have heard or seen in the media, social media, some families who are mourning because their loved ones who lived in Tanzania died during the skirmishes that followed the elections. This is a country that respects the rule of law. Honorable Speaker, the constitution we have today was brought to bear by activists. It is a constitution which we agitated for among those who believe in human rights. Those in human rights, activists in human rights, agitated for the constitution that we have, and it is our responsibility as leaders, whether we like anybody or not, to actually advocate for the rights of every person. It is our collective responsibility as members of parliament to stand up for the rights of all Kenyans, whether they are in Tanzania, Uganda, or wherever else they are. So it is sad to have heard what we had over the weekend, and I would want to ask that the relevant committee actually take urgent action to report to Parliament how many Kenyans have actually lost lives, how many Kenyans have actually lost properties, how many Kenyans have been injured as a result of being targeted merely because they are Kenyan. I would also want to ask that as a country, we must continue respecting our treaties, and we must welcome all Tanzanians, all Ugandans, and all foreigners within this jurisdiction. Their rights must be protected.
Next is Senator Veronica Waheti Nduati.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. And I want to take this opportunity to support the statement that has been brought to the House by Senator Cherarchy. Honorable Speaker, the safety of Kenyans everywhere includes the free movement of people. Honorable Speaker, it is shocking to note that a report has been given officially from Tanzania that the people who are being incarcerated, the people who are being harassed, the people who are being pushed to the corner and maybe even facing fatalities during the crisis that was in Tanzania could most probably have been Kenyans. That's why this statement is so important, because East African Legislative Assembly, much more than the Kenyan Parliament, will have to establish, if they are of any relevance to this community, they will have to establish who are those people who are killed and why were they killed during the demonstrations, Honorable Speaker, that was reported to have caused deaths to a number of foreigners. Honorable Speaker, it was very disarming, very heart-wrenching for Kenyans to watch Tanzania boldly declaring that the people who were killed were foreigners and most likely Kenyans. And for Kenya to see a certain teacher, whom we can name, Honorable Speaker, I cannot recall his name, that he died during the protests that happened in Tanzania. This is not a friendly act, Honorable Speaker, political act, because if Kenya has been so friendly to Tanzania, why then would Kenyans be targeted in Tanzania, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether you have gone to some of the streets in Nairobi right now. The people who are selling in very small kibandas and very small hard carts are some are from Malawi, some are from Zambia, some are from Tanzania. Indeed, our salons right now are being operated by Congolese. The person who sometimes does my haircut sometimes is not Kenyan, Honorable Speaker. Yet Kenya has been very friendly to all the foreigners or the visitors who have come from the region. It therefore worries Kenyans very much, Honorable Speaker, why other nations around us should be very hostile to Kenyans. It is uncalled for. And I would not call Kenyans to be hostile.
Country, because of the respect that I have on you, I kindly give you 30 seconds, but don't bond on our friendly relations with other countries, because also, you know, Kenya is very decent.
What I wanted to
And our
affirm.
decency also, we should demonstrate that decency even on the floor of this Senate.
That is what I was affirming, that I would not ask Kenyans to be unfriendly to any person visiting or any residents of the East Africa, because Kenya is an advanced democracy and we have embraced the world. We have embraced everybody into this nation, Honorable Speaker. If this evening you go to one of the restaurants in Westlands, you will find every nationality from across the whole world enjoying a meal and evening music, Honorable Speaker, in the ambience of our restaurants and hotels. So, Honorable Speaker, I would call upon all our neighbors to continue respecting the integration of the East African bloc, to continue respecting integration of Africa as a continent and the free trade area, and to accept that unless we open up this region.
Very well. Also, Senator Veronica, you know your haircut is really outstanding. And if there is the DRC guy is doing your haircut that style, then I think we should encourage as many as possible to come to Kenya. Next is Senator Okechiendi Gicheru.
Mr. Speaker, the statement that the Senator of Nandi has raised is an important one, as it seeks to get accountability on the side of our foreign offices, foreign relations officers, as to the accounts of our citizens in neighboring countries, and particularly in Tanzania. But, Mr. Speaker, the mantra is sometimes there is something called too little, too late. After the verbal diarrhea that the same senator had in the weekend, and basically putting the issue of human rights to the grave.
Senator Okech.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
You know I'm very keen on what your contribution, and kindly use parliamentary language.
I'm most obliged. I'm most obliged, Mr. Speaker.
Who can have those? The way we have described that senator, I don't think he really has those principles.
Mr. Speaker, it's just that maybe
we withdraw that remark, kindly.
Mr. Speaker, because I have a lot of respect for you, I withdraw that. But you will understand, Mr. Speaker, that anybody who talks about anything that undermines human rights, fundamental rights to life, I don't know what other English word I would use, but maybe the person did not go to school. But that said, Mr. Speaker, I think that the statement is way too little, too late. Let the committee do its work, and maybe the committee should even take the statement from the Senator of Nandi and give it to somebody else in the House, Mr. Speaker. Then you can put a closure to it. But that said, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to comment on the statement by the Senator of Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, this is a very sensitive statement, because the way our women are being treated, Mr. Speaker, in the market in our county should concern all of us. Mr. Speaker, where I come from, there's something called a swekra, which basically is a term that has come from the fact that women in our markets, even up to date, still sit on stones under scorching sun and sometimes wind, Mr. Speaker, to be able to sell and make a living for their own children, Mr. Speaker. It is so sad that as a place like Kisumu County, Mr. Speaker, women can still lose a stock of 5,000 shillings or a stock of 10,000 shillings of their small, medium enterprises, Mr. Speaker, to things like rain, to things like wind, and yet still go home without being able to give their children any life, Mr. Speaker. So I'd like to request, Mr. Speaker, that this committee should go and look at the sensitivity that our counties have on compensating these local traders, including transparency, whether they are paying the right people, Mr. Speaker, and the process that have been put in place to ensure that enterprise funds are funding these women in our markets, right from Migori to Kisumu, all the way to where you come from, Mr. Speaker, in Meru, Mr. Speaker. Our women must be given the funds and the infrastructure to make sure that their markets are proper.
When were you talking to Senator Charigai? I thought you were talking to the speaker, not to Senator Chalage. 30 seconds, and we are concluding. Actually, we are past the 3:30 p.m. 30 seconds.
From me.
Just conclude.
And then, Mr. Speaker, I also think that it would be important for that same committee to look at the quality of contractors who must ensure that there's quality assurance and quality insurance in the nature with which these markets are developed. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I think it is important that that committee interrogates the Micro and Small Enterprise Authority of the counties to ensure that those enterprises that are in the market development areas make actually those markets that can be able to give dignity to our women, to ensure that they don't lose their property and they don't lose their stock in the markets. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Looking at my dashboard here, we have more than 6 more senators, or 5. But scanning through it, I want to give Senator Kisang William, because he is more senior than any other senator who is queuing to make a comment. The tradition of any parliament is that you must recognize seniority. Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your indulgence. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on 2 statements, one by Senator Jararke on the disaster preparedness. Honorable Speaker, it's unfortunate that disaster struck my county and we have lost over close to 40 people, and we are still missing 9. Basically, we have lost about 50 people, Honorable Speaker. But I still thank the Ministry for Interior and the special programs for swift response. But, Honorable Speaker, I think it is important for the relevant ministry to maybe take stock and evaluate and do map across the country, and we target areas where they are prone to disasters, so that, Honorable Speaker, we can do a master plan on how to relocate people, or even advise the farmers on which crops to grow, instead of continuing to grow the traditional crops which we do, maize, we do finger millet, and basically millet, which makes the soil loose. And when we get heavy rains continuously, the soils become loose, and the stones, every rock that are around there, Honorable Speaker, eventually give way and cause a disaster. This is what they need to do. They should not wait for another disaster to happen before they do mapping and give a proposal and bring the proposal to the House, both houses, both Senate and National Assembly, because these are areas like Babute, Honorable Speaker, where we lost close to 7 people. We have a forest there, we have Hanging Valley, and we have the Scamen and Gere Valley. So there is no harm in excising, say, 100 acres of a forest, and then taking 100 acres from the farmers and do reforestation. The forest takers will not have lost anything. We'll still have the same number of acreage of forest, Honorable Speaker, and our people will be safe. That is, I want to urge them especially to look at the Hanging Valley of Elgeyo-Marakwet County. It's a long strip that we can grow trees. We can make it a forest, and then we move the people to better soils. You know, this is something that was done by the colonists, Honorable Speaker, because what they did, they decided to take the good land, make them forest, and push the people to the escarpment. And they did it for their own good, because they wanted, Honorable Speaker, to have maybe fresh air. And then, Honorable Speaker, the last one is the one by also Gerard K. about our relationship within the region. We know we have had a very good relationship in the region, Honorable Speaker, until just recently because of elections in our neighboring country, Tanzania, Honorable Speaker, and a few issues in Uganda. I think what we need to do, the heads of state within the region and the CSs in charge of foreign affairs, they need, or East African community, they need to sit down and rethink.
Honorable Senators, I think we should close at that, but one of the junior senators, Senator Joe Nyutu, is really trying to catch my eye in a very desperate manner, so let me give you 2 minutes, kind.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to pray to God that He will also promote me to be a senior senator by giving me another term. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the statement by Senator Cherargei. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to say that I taught Kiswahili for quite some time. And the way there is a methali, Mr. Speaker, allow me to quote, that says, mkuki ni kwa nguruwe, kwa binadamu ni mchungu. So when I saw this statement by Senator Cherargei, I appreciated his concerns. But then I got concerned that the same senator over the weekend was saying that people the neighboring governments should take action against our people from this particular country and then bring them back here ili tuamalizie. And so, mkuki kwa nguruwe, kwa binadamu ni mchungu. However, Mr. Speaker, let me say that it's very important that even the neighboring countries, and that abductions have no place in this country, not even in the neighboring country. And why I started by that Kiswahili proverb, Mr. Speaker, is because you can see Senator Cherargei very concerned about a constituent of Nandi County when possibly he gets abducted. But of course, talks like he supports abductions, Mr. Speaker. And so Mr. Speaker, I want to say that it's important that we observe the rights of Kenyans, regardless of where they come from. And all of us must condemn abductions, illegal arrests, whoever does it, whether in this country or out there, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me also to make a comment on the statement made by Senator for Kisumu, Professor Tom Ojienda, on the assistance to the traders in Kibuye Market, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's important because we have seen the Kenya Kwanza government going around doing what they call empowerment, that they first go to Kibuye, Mr. Speaker, and see to it that these needy women get the help that they deserve before they organize any other empowerment program where they are going to give maybe 200 shillings each to people, to members of the society who may not even be in need of this, Mr. Speaker. So let Kenya Kwanza go to Kibuye first.
Sorry, Senator Nyutu, Joe Nyutu, there is a point of order from Senator Okechi.
Please freeze my time.
This is under 101, Mr. Speaker, where you are imputing improper motive on the, the leadership of even the Kenya Kwanza, because the Kenya Kwanza is a big organization and institution that also has got members of the Senate of this House, Mr. Speaker. When you talk about this empowerment that he's talking about, Mr. Speaker, the statement that the Senator Agenda brought was a statement that alluded to the state of markets which are devolved in the counties and not a function of markets that are being done by anybody at the national government or even the senators of this house who are part of the Kenya Kwanza company. So is it in order, Mr. Speaker, for the senator of Muranga to actually impute that the responsibility of what happened in Kibuye Market, of the poor infrastructure in Kibuye Market, as well as the damage that happened there, to shift that responsibility and impute an improper motive on those of Kenya Kwanza who are not concerned with this problem at the ground, Mr. Speaker? Is it in order? I don't think it's in order, Mr. Speaker. So you should call the Senator Yuru to order and focus on getting solution for those who are in the market, in Kibuye Market, which is mostly our governors who we are given the chance to oversight. Let them deal with those markets on the ground. Don't start finding a way of debating what is not concerning anybody here.
Senator Joe Nyutu, you have found that point of order. And maybe also there are such markets in Muranga County.
Mr. Speaker, through your permission. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've listened to the Senator for Migori, and I suspected that the Senator for Migori has not read the statement by the Senator for Kisumu. Actually, in the introduction of that particular statement, Mr. Speaker, the Senator is saying a matter of countrywide concern regarding the compensation of traders at Kibuye Market in Kisumu County for the losses So I was addressing the losses, Mr. Speaker, and I was saying that if you have some money to spend,
Senator Mudigi, you trace your 2 minutes. And that's the last member I'm giving the opportunity.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kuchangia statement ambayo imeletwa na Senator Sergei juu ya uhusiano ya binadamu katika nchi zile sio karibu na sisi. Naomba Bwana Spika kamati iangalie vile Kenya tunakaa na uhusiano, kwa sababu nakumbuka Bwana Spika wiki jana tulikuwa Senator Masinani na tuliona vile watu wetu wa Kenya pale Busia vile wakienda uvuvi wa samaki wakifika kwa mpaka wanawekwa ndani na wanateseka sana. Bwana Spika, mambo ya kwenda nje sio jirani peke yake. Tunasikia kule Russia vile watu wetu wameenda na njia ya mikato, pia tumeona pia mpaka hata watu wa Kenya wakienda nje mpaka waheshimu nchi zile zingine vile tunaheshimu wale wengine. Kwa sababu unashindwa ati wiki jana watu wetu wameshikwa kule Russia na Ukraine wakipigana. Kwa hiyo kumaanisha mambo ya embassy asifanyi kazi ile nafaa, na pia kufanya audit kuonekane ni watu wetu wangapi wako katika nchi za ng'ambo, kwa sababu kuna shinda. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, hata kule Qatar unakuta watu wengine wanaenda na mambo ya visa ambaye haifai, kuko na watu karibu 200 wanachangiwa na wale watu wako kule. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, katika nchi yetu ya Kenya kuna watu wamesembea kazini, wale wa mpaka ama agent kufanya audit, wale watu warudishwe ndio waweze kukaa na njia nyingine, kwa sababu unaona mtu akienda anategemea mwenzake. Sasa wamekuwa ni kama refugee. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, mimi naunga mkono nikiwa Senator Embu County. Bwana Spika, asante.
Honourable senators, the statement released by Senator Chaligei Samson, you know this is a very live matter which is happening now. And listening to the senators who have spoke this afternoon, for sure this is a matter that needs some urgency, because our Kenyans in the neighboring country maybe are suffering there. So I direct that the chair, the Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations should report back to this House in 2 weeks' time, so that we can be able to know the fate of the Kenyans in Tanzania. Now we go to a statement pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, Majority Leader.
Honourable Speaker, with your permission, allow me to stand in on behalf of the Majority Leader to read the statement by the Senate Majority Leader on the business of the Senate for the week commencing Tuesday, 18th November 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 57-1. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, I hereby present the business for the week commencing Tuesday, 18th November 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, as honorable senators are aware, during the afternoon sitting yesterday, Wednesday, 12th November 2025, the Senate passed 5 bills at second reading and 2 bills at the Committee of the Whole. Additionally, the Senate considered and approved the National Assembly amendments to the County Government's Additional Allocations Number 2 Bill, Senate Bills Number 8 of 2025. I take this opportunity to thank honorable senators for availing themselves for the voting process. However, the level of our entry remains high. For this reason, I implore upon senators to redouble our efforts in a bid to conclude the business before the upcoming December recess. Mr. Speaker, sir, the legislative business before the Senate is as follows. 60 bills are pending conclusion, of which 40 are at second reading, 18 are at the Committee of the Whole, and 2 are awaiting first reading. 30 motions are pending conclusion. 19 petitions are pending conclusion, out of which 15 are due for reporting by respective standing committees, and 473 statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 are being considered by standing committees. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Tuesday, 18th November 2025, the Senate Business Committee will meet to consider the business for the week. The tentative business for that day will include business not concluded from today's order paper, as well as the business indicated in the notice paper. The tentative business for the morning sitting on Wednesday, 19th November 2025, will include the schedule of questions to Cabinet Secretaries as approved by the Senate Business Committee, as well as motions. The questions scheduled include question number 75 to the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development by Professor Tom Ojenda, SEMP. The following questions to the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. Question number 43 and 099 by Senator Edwin Sifuna.